Hello everyone, I'm Salad, and welcome to Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls. So we just finished up Danganronpa 2, and now that we're headed into this, I'm not sure exactly what this is going to be about. I was assuming it was going to be about Junko and Mukuro, but I don't know. I mean, after all, I see Genocide Jill over here, so I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Are we actually going to have Genocide Jill in this? I did hear some rumblings that maybe Makoto's sister was gonna be in this, but I don't know if that's true or not. Like, is this person in the lower right-hand corner there? Is that supposed to be Makoto's sister? I don't know. I can only guess. Okay, so we got Komaru mode, working hard for a normal girl mode. What? Super ultra pumped genocide mode, super ultra pumped genocide jack mode. For those who just want to enjoy the story, and ultra despair mode. I think we're going with ultra despair mode. I don't know what the what does that say? I order you to choose the difficulty level. I don't know how hard this is going to be. I don't even know what. I think it's like a shooter in some ways. That's all I've heard. I don't really know much. Oh, first let's set up your camera. Okay. I saw like a flash of something there. With auto camera, you automatically follow the character you're controlling. And with manual camera, you can control the camera with the mouse. I'd prefer that. This can be changed in options. Okay, good. Yeah, for now, I'm definitely gonna go with the manual controls. Oh, we got Earth. Confirmation, the Danganronpa.
The world is round. Really true? Earth might have the shape of rock candy.
Like
that
I guess?
spiky lump of sugar your grandma would wrap in a tissue.
I don't think my grandma ever did that.
But I don't really know for sure. It's not like I've actually seen the shape of the Earth. In the same way, I've never actually seen most things that are considered common knowledge. Common knowledge in what we take for granted. We base our lives around such uncertain things. Well, not that it matters for me. I mean, my world isn't even big enough to worry about stuff like the shape of the Earth or common knowledge. In fact,
so you just got a simple life?
So small that it's actually a little funny.
It's like a full anime cutscene we've got.
This two-bedroom apartment that I live in is my world. My life doesn't extend beyond these walls. But it's not like I'm a shut-in or anything. I am actually imprisoned inside this room.
Imprisoned? Oh, there is actually metal bars around.
Komaru Naegi.
Komaru.
I'm a completely normal high school girl who lives an abnormal daily life.
This is Makoto's sister. Interesting, a cool opening cinema or cutscene we had there. Oh, we still have more of it.
All right.
All right. Yeah. What now? Oh, you're trying to break out?
Let me out! Let me out of here! Hey! Jeez, you. Ever since my imprisoned life began,
I don't know if that's gonna work.
Defiance became my morning routine. But it was only at the beginning that I was seriously crying and yelling.
Now you're just doing it to pass the time?
It's been a year and a half since my imprisoned life began. Can you believe it? A year and a half! So long that I've become completely used to this life.
That is a long time.
It's frightening how well humans can adapt.
But how'd you get food?
I learned that firsthand through this imprisonment.
Is that Junko on the cover there?
But it's not like I've completely given up, of course. If I had, I wouldn't do things like change my uniform every morning.
Yeah, I noticed that. Why get dressed for school if you're gonna be imprisoned?
I don't want to get my hopes up too much. Because through this imprisonment, I've learned too much about the horrifying despair that always follows hope.
So you don't want to gain hope because you might...
Jeez!
someone does bring her food.
Unfortunately, even I, the victim, have no clue whatsoever. Ever since I've been taken by strange people into this strange place, I wanted Japanese style this morning. Receiving meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner is the only communication I have with the outside. I haven't seen the culprit's face or even heard their voice. I still don't even know why I'm imprisoned here.
But the whole year and a half, there's got to be a way that she could have gotten out by this point.
Regardless of how abnormal and unfair the situation is, this is my world and my daily life now, so it can't be helped. See? Sucks, right?
I don't
My
know.
story ended before it even began.
It seems like you're fine with this
Not
fate,
like
though.
I still have hope that something sudden will happen after all this time.
Oh, something sudden's happening. But the only way she could have survived this long without it even trying to break out at all would have been if she had no hope.
What happened? Could it be? Did someone come to rescue me?
No, I guess you do have hope.
Save me! I'm trapped in here! I'm begging you! Please save me! I don't want to live this life anymore! Please open the door!
Look. Is that a bear claw, perhaps? A Monokuma claw? Yeah. Uh-oh, Monokuma intro music. We're gonna get the boing? Nope. I agree, no, there is no boing sound effect. This is not right. Uh-oh, we're back into video game graphics mode. Velocity, heart rate, it's tracking all that.
What's going on?
So was Monokuma trapping her in here, or something else? The sensitivity's too high on that camera movement. I think I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead. No, I'm good. Let me out of here.
Where's the elevator?
I don't know. Run, camera, reset POV. Oh no, I think I ran the wrong way.
A bear? A black and white bear?
Hold on. What? I need to, where's, how do I move? X? What? X and Z to, I need to change some of the settings here. Hold on a second. Okay, there was no option to change the mouse sensitivity, so that's unfortunate. I'll have to change that at some point. But let's look at the menus since we're already here, because these are actually some interesting stuff here. So we've got Komaru Naegi. She likes girls manga and whatever's trending, and she just likes lightning in the rainy season. Okay. And she's short, just like Makoto. And a normal girl in quotation marks, but also with a comma inside the quotation marks. That's a little odd. Little sister to the ultimate hope, Makoto Naegi. Doesn't have any special talents. Has been imprisoned in Towa City apartment for a year and a half. So I guess we'll take this time to talk about that. If you are trapped in your apartment for a year and a half, your apartment would not look like that. And you would think that somebody trapped in a year and a half in just an apartment would have broken down the walls with like whatever tools she could find. The glass on that window, it would have already been broken. She would have tried to create some sort of acid out of whatever materials or cleaning materials were to try to, I don't know, dissolve the bars or something like that. Or she would have tried to dig her way out through the floor. There's a lot of things that she would have tried to do if she was truly trying to escape. And so that's why initially I thought that perhaps she didn't want to escape, that she had already resigned herself to despair and had no hope left. But now clearly we see that she still does have hope. So that's what's weird and that's what's confusing me right now. So I can't select files, truth bullets, or skills yet. It seems like we're gonna get a lot more people. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of 3, and then another 2 after that. So that's 16 students. Wait, no. 17 students. So that's not the normal amount of students that we would normally have here. Assuming that these are all going to be students. This is clearly a very different game from usual. Apparently we just need to run. So I have 3 hearts of health. There's a lot of fire. We made it somewhere. So we are on one of the higher floors, clearly. Is there another one there? Oh, Byakuya. Well, good thing Byakuya is here.
You must be Komaru Naegi. Future Foundation 14th Division, Byakuya Togami.
Okay, so this is definitely after. This is obviously after the events of Danganronpa 1, because he's already part of the Future Foundation, and I guess they're going around destroying all the Monokumas, destroying the remnants of despair, and now they found Makoto's sister, still alive here after all this time. Who was imprisoning her? Was it Monokuma? But then, if so, why did Monokuma suddenly break in and try to kill her? Was it because Monokuma realized that Byakuya and the Future Foundation were already just about here, and so he needed to, I don't know, finish her off? I don't know.
Don't get the wrong idea and start crying. I'm not the one who imprisoned you here.
Is this gonna be fully voice acted? I mean, the other games weren't, so I wouldn't expect so, but...
Actually, I'm here to rescue you.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that he would have been the one to imprison her here. That's not something the Future Foundation would do, I don't think. I mean, they did do the Neo World program, but that's different.
Future Foundation received intel that a captive was imprisoned somewhere inside this building.
I like his head shake that he's doing there. So they didn't know it was her. So Makoto, it's not like Makoto was specifically looking for his sister. They just knew that somebody was here being imprisoned.
It would appear that intel was correct. However, what is the meaning of this? What are all these vermin Monokumas doing here?
I don't know. What are they doing in general, honestly? Okay, so she doesn't even know what Monokuma is.
No matter how you look at it, the timing is just too perfect. Just as we show up, a riot breaks out. No, they must have known we were coming.
Yeah, exactly. It's clearly Monokuma knew because he suddenly decided to attack at this point.
A riot?
Perhaps the intel itself was a trap to lure us here.
To lure you here? Are you saying like this building is surrounded or something?
What do you mean, riot? What's going on outside? And that black and white bear thing back there, what was that? What's going on?
So you don't even know Monokuma? That kind of ignorance must be nice.
Yeah, it is interesting to meet somebody who doesn't know Monokuma at this point, but she has been trapped in here for a long time.
He was just like that the first time I met him.
You talking about Makoto?
Him?
You really don't know anything, do you? I guess I'll tell you. But it will have to wait. Now's no time for talk.
This is true. This is true. Now is really not the time to be chatting away, I don't think. Huh? Oh!
There's no end to them. Bring it on.
Uh-oh. You just gonna...
What should I do?
Should? Do you really have an option other than run?
Well,
it's a hacking gun developed by Future Foundation.
Hacking
It shoots
gun.
program codes with electromagnetic waves.
if you say
It
so.
appears to be effective against these Monokumas. Though you should have discerned that from the test shot.
That was just a test shot? You didn't know it would work?
Read the operation instructions included with the gun. You're on your own from here.
What? What do you mean?
You can run, can't you? I'm busy now. Now
Yeah.
that I've seen these annoying bears, I can't just leave them be.
And also, you're kind of letting them destroy your men.
A member of Future Foundation is on standby at the restaurant across the street.
The restaurant across the street. Okay, that's our destination. Headshot.
Hurry up and go. You're just in the way here.
Well, hopefully Byakuya's alright. He is pretty good at what he does. But were those people that were with him, are they actually humans or are they puppets that are dying right there? Because there wasn't any blood. And he was really taking his time to help them out. Okay, so there's Pig Boy? What? Okay, so those are real humans.
What's going on?
After all this time, there's still enough humans just to going about their business to be slaughtered like this? Or is this like a resurgence of the Monokumas? Like the Future Foundation has already helped things get back to normal and now they're coming back again. Yeah, see, everyone's normal. There's no despair or anything.
Welcome.
But then outside,
Table
it's...
for one?
What is this?
Bear attack! A bear? Bears! Bears everywhere! Miss, now please! Call the military! Paramedics! Hurry! If we don't hurry! Miss, please keep your voice down. You're disturbing the other customers. Who cares about that? Hurry! All right, fine. Please, just be
excuse me,
quiet,
ma'am.
okay?
One order of...
Relax. and
Yeah,
stay calm.
nobody cares. Is this because that's normal or?
Hello? Police? Some suspicious girl is...
Wait, they really don't know? What's going on here? This can't be like the start of the outbreak of Ultimates. Or could it be? No, wait. Was this before the events of Danganronpa 1 then?
Someone help me!
I guess that's it?
Emergency! Riots are breaking out all over Towa City! Take refuge immediately! I repeat, citizens of Towa City, take refuge!
You say that, but... What should I do? They're gonna find me!
Well, Byakuya told you to run, so...
I gotta escape. I gotta get out of here.
Well? Yeah, go shoot him. Oh. Here we go. We're going. It's time for a tutorial. Yay! Tutorial action time. If you press the right mouse button, you ready the hacking gun, okay? The mouse focuses the reticle. Yeah, if you aim with the mouse. And then left to fire a truth bullet. Oh, what is it? What is this? Pressing the F key opens the truth bullet selection screen. Break, link, knock back, detect, dance, burn, paralyze, move. So can I change the way I control the Monokumas when I shoot them? Like maybe there's certain situations where I won't want to just outright break them. You can switch truth bullets with the 1 to 8 keys. Okay. You can also switch truth bullets outside the menu with the one. Okay, yeah. Using all the multicolored truth bullets against the Monokumas. Huh?
This makes no sense. Why is this happening?
I don't know. Okay, so we got break, knockback, dance, paralyze, move, burn, detect, link. So we can. Okay, what happens if we make it dance? Yeah, it makes it dance. We can paralyze it.
This gun is amazing.
Huh. That's really interesting. So this is not just like a shoot all the Monokumas. There must be some sort of, I don't know, other elements to this that I just don't know yet. Burn? Blink? Oh, I can move it. An F to attack, shift to run. This is. I mean, this works. This might be one of the more useful ones of the abilities. So there's a limit, and now I'm out. So what if I just shoot a knockback at him? Oh, that's close range. Okay, what about a break? That instantly breaks them.
They're dead. They're all dead.
Huh, yeah, I wonder when I would not want to use break.
What's with this bear? Jeez, enough already.
Yeah. They are indeed all dead. Okay, so can I open this? No, I can't. I guess I'll just kill them all, right? I might as well.
Someone save me!
Oh.
What is this? What is going on?
Good question. Hey?
Who's there?
Somebody giggling like that. Is it Junko?
It's the TV.
What? What?
I'm a zombie. I'm gonna eat ya. Oh, please don't eat me.
Hey, Masaru, do zombies really say rawr like that? I'm really having trouble getting past that, you know?
Who cares? I told you, style is important for this kind of thing.
So yeah, those are all new characters.
Please don't violate me. Please don't humiliate me. Kitty porn is a no-no. Hey, play with
What are these kids doing with that body?
Hey, what are you doing? Be more serious.
Didn't I tell you this broadcast was important? This is the Warriors of Hope's keynote address.
Jeez, what are you so mad about? Oh wait, I bet you want to play zombie too, huh, Nagisa?
Nagisa?
Stop that! Don't come over here!
Please stop!
So these people seem too young to be reserve students from Hope Speak Academy. So they just random kids that are part of the Ultimate Despair?
Citizens of Towa City, nice to meet you. We are the Warriors of Hope. We are the masters of Mr. Monokuma.
Warriors of Hope?
This town, this dirty, lame, worthless, pathetic, good-for-nothing town that's nothing more than a penal colony for filthy criminals. It is on this site that we've decided to build a paradise of children, for children, by children. And therefore, all of you adults will no longer be needed. Goodbye.
So does that include us? Do we count as a child, or are we safe? Oh, man, we've actually got the opening now. Who's that? Is that Toko on the right? Oh, there's the children again.
Danganronpa.
We got Monokuma with a cigar. What? Monokuma's getting some new outfits, it seems. Yakomaru Naegi. And... yeah, Toko Fukawa. Okay. Kurokuma. That's different. And Shirokuma. So, Black Bear and White Bear? And Masaru something and Kotoko Usagi? And Jataro Kamuri? And Monica? And Nagisa Shinte... It's going too fast. I guess I'll figure out their names when we see them more. And there we go, Ultra Despair Girls, another episode. Well, that was a lot of stuff that I didn't understand any of, but that's all right. Prologue, The Warriors of Hope.
Around a year and a half ago, a certain incident completely changed the world.
Quite an action-packed intro to the game, that's for sure. So yeah, around a year and a half ago, a certain incident completely changed the world. So that means that she was imprisoned right when the incident... No, that doesn't make sense. So a year and a half ago, she was imprisoned, and that certain incident happened that completely changed the world. So what was that incident? Was that that was the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, right? The tragedy?
Apparently, the origin of the incident was a student movement at a certain school.
So that's the thing, though. If a year and a half had passed since then, people would remember all this. Is this a second outbreak of the ultimate despair then? But then why was everyone so calm when she was talking about an evil bear? People should still have PTSD from that.
But the school covered it up, so it was too late when the world finally realized. It grew out of control, becoming a monster that swallowed the entire world. It couldn't have just been some riot or student protest. It had to be something far deeper. That much should be obvious. It did come from Hope's Peak Academy, after all. Eventually, the incident grew so much in strength and scale that it threw the world into despair. Theft, arson, brutality, murder, the violent crime rate went off the charts. Violence spawned revenge, which fueled more violence, driving the crime rate even higher. Before long, a global war broke out. A war not for land or ideals, but only for the sake of war.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is stuff that we all know already.
A war that tainted the world with despair. But even with all this evil and chaos, I had complete faith in my world. And even when it felt like I was falling, I kept believing. It's still okay. It's all right. Then, I found out that 7 of my classmates had died suspiciously. I fell further still. But even then, I kept telling myself, it's all going to be fine. Don't be afraid. But the realization that it was too late came to me like the ground rushing up to break my fall.
By too late, you mean when you got imprisoned?
A group of men I had never seen before broke into my house and separated me from my family. The world I had been living in up to that moment collapsed. Everything changed. And since that horrible and unjust imprisonment, a year and a half passed.
Okay, so is what happened here that that Hope's Peak Academy tragedy happened, the smaller one. And when that happened, when she got imprisoned, no, but they were talking about how there was already like a war for the sake of war. I'm getting the times of things mixed up here.
I was
I'm just
supposed
gonna
to
keep
be a
going.
normal high school girl, but instead, I became a complacent prisoner. And what was waiting for me at the end of that despair was a despair even deeper, even worse. There's no use in keeping hope. That's what I was forced to realize once again.
One of them was gnawing off somebody's head there.
Why is this happening? If I knew this was gonna happen, I would have stayed in my room forever.
Oh, that's the wrong option. They gotta move forward with hope. As Makoto would do. There's no need to hide from the bear. You've got the weaponry to defend yourself now. As long as it doesn't run out of batteries.
That's right. That Byakuya guy said that someone is supposed to be here, right?
Exactly. That's why it's confusing. Why everyone is just like a normal person here. And they all just died. Oh, one of his men.
That suit. It's the same as that Byakuya guy's. Are you alright?
Who are you? You shouldn't be here. Hurry up and run.
You're from Future Foundation, right?
How did you know?
I was told by a guy named Byakuya Togami to meet you here.
Could you be? Are you a captive?
Yep, definitely.
Go to the park. Head through this door and go straight down the road.
The park? Okay.
There should be a Future Foundation helicopter there. Hurry.
A helicopter to evacuate the city or something?
What about you?
Or evacuate us from the city, the captives? Okay.
Hurry.
I don't think you need to.
Gotta get out of here.
I don't think you need to scream like that.
I'm sorry.
What? You have a gun!
Over here. I'll take you all on.
No!
I'm so sorry.
Use your weapon! Or give him the weapon. Just leave him to die like that. It's alright.
The town. It's in ruins.
Okay, so we're side scroller now. Oh, it's not really in ruins. It actually looks still pretty good. Alright, they don't seem to care about me. He's just stomping on people, okay?
Dad! Mom! Makoto!
You were stuck in your place for a year and a half. How do you even know Makoto and your dad and mom are even still here? Okay, there's the helicopter. There's no way this is gonna work out.
Hey! Are you people from Future Foundation? This guy called Byakuya Togami said that you guys could rescue me.
Well?
What is your name?
Komaru. It's Komaru Naegi.
Oh,
Looks like that information about a captive in this town was correct.
So, where's Byakuya Togami? Is he safe?
He told me to run, so I haven't seen him since.
I see. I can't reach him, so I thought he might be in danger. But then again, this is Byakuya Togami we're talking about. I'm sure he can handle himself.
that's also true.
But there was someone from Future Foundation getting attacked in the restaurant back there. Please, you have to go save him.
Understood. I'll go back for him.
Best of luck. I think he's
Make it in time.
probably gonna be already dead by this point.
What exactly is going on here? I still have no idea what's happening. I don't know who you are, or where I am, or anything.
It's really cool that all of this is completely voice acted, by the way.
I see.
I wonder
Well,
if
we don't
Danganronpa
have
3 is
much
like that.
time, so I'll give you the short version. First off, we're from an organization called Future Foundation.
Wait, is that the same voice actor as Byakuya? You see, it was Byakuya voicing Future Foundation C.
We're trying to help the world recover from the incident. You know what I'm referring to?
Yeah, he definitely is.
Incident?
Help the world recover from the incident. Okay. So this is after all those events.
It's behind your
Right?
imprisonment. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
So then the only thing that's weird is the fact that everybody seemed like they didn't get scared when she was talking about evil bears. That's the weird
It was
thing
more
then.
than just an incident. It shook the foundations of society to the core. And it wasn't just one. Various incidents broke out all over the world. And then the war. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history includes that too. Because of all of this, the world just crumbled. But in all that chaos,
Oh, who's this?
Future Foundation is trying the best we can to bring hope back to this world.
I don't recognize that silhouette.
Oh, and as for this town,
I mean, the glowing eyes is reminiscent of Nagito's. Sorry, not Nagito. Hajime, who in his form as the oh right, Izuru Kamakura. That was the name. Yeah, it reminds me of Izuru Kamakura. The glowing eyes and the long hair. That's the closest thing I can match to that. But is this after the events of Danganronpa 2? If so, then no. I think this is between Danganronpa 1 and 2. So Izuru Kamakura should still be around, and maybe we need to go and capture him. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I think I got it right now.
Right?
I think I'm good.
Following?
Yeah. It's just a lot to take in, that's all. It's hard to hear.
I'm sorry, but you need to know. This town is an island off the coast and controlled by a powerful IT corporation.
Okay, so this is on an island.
It's commonly called Towa City. Towa City used to just be a nickname, but now it's what everyone calls it.
ever since the government stopped functioning due to the tragedy, Towa Group and their cutting-edge technology are running the show here.
Towa Group is a corporation that played a huge role in rebuilding the world.
Let's see.
Ever since the tragedy, air pollution has made a lot of the planet uninhabitable.
Really? Okay. From what? From all the war? From
But Towa
bombs
Group
being dropped?
developed an air purifier that can clean massive quantities of air at a time. They invented it only 3 months after the safety order to stay indoors was given.
That's suspicious. They invented it only 3 months afterwards. Could they be working with the Ultimate Despair and they wanted everybody to gather here? They wanted this to be their center of hope? Their new center of hope? It feels like it's all part of a plan. It feels like everybody was led to come here to make them think that this was their safe haven, when it was all just a trick.
Even after all this time, people all over the world are still clamoring for it.
But the clean air isn't the only thing that draws people to this town. Because of Towa Group's influence, this city has suffered far less damage than others.
And because it's relatively unaffected by the incident, it's of special interest to us.
But this kind of riot going on in Towa City, this is something we never anticipated.
Yeah, I agree. this guy's animation.
So it's a riot? Why is something like this happening?
I don't know if you can call a bunch of a bunch of mechanized bears a riot, but
Honestly, even we have no clue whatsoever about
there's-
what's happening here.
there doesn't seem to be. Oh, the humans that are. I guess is kind of a riot. It's those children that are the ones starting the riot. They are the riot. The Monokumas, I don't know if you count
Where
them as
those
part of that.
Monokumas came from?
They're being
why
used by
attacking
them.
The city, and that broadcast by those creepy kids. None of it makes any sense at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very weird.
The only thing we know for sure is that something horrible is happening here.
We need to get more intel, but our priority is to escape. We need to leave, at least for now.
Okay, but what about the other guy?
Right. We need to hurry and escape. We'd probably get killed in a place like this. And I mean, I want to see my family again. It's been so long.
Oh, about your family.
Yeah, you probably should have started with that. Dot.
Do you hear that?
Is that singing?
Uh-oh, children! No idea what they're saying, because it's all in Japanese.
Over there!
A kid?
Oh, and your gun's not gonna help against them, but the bears it will.
Get back!
Oh! You gonna sit there? Use your weapon! Well, the pilot? Oh, that's the pilot. Never mind. I was gonna say, at least the pilot's here, but no. You don't want to be in there anymore. Okay, now, so the Monokuma apparently knows how to fly. Oh no, it's execution music. Down you go. And then she died, and then it's game over. The end. How did you live from that? Honestly, you should have just stayed there and used your weapon. Now you're doomed, and you have no weapon. Prediction, we're gonna get that weapon again, but we're gonna need to accumulate all the different bullet types instead of having all of them available to us at once.
Hey, can you hear me?
Is that Makoto?
Are you okay?
Or is it Nagito? That actually kind of sounded... it's hard to tell.
You look completely exhausted.
Yeah, it's Nagito. That's not good.
Who are you?
Me? Oh, my name's not really important. After all, I'm just a lowly servant.
Nagito's the same as ever. Except he's got a different look to him.
I had heard this town would be safe, so I came here to seek refuge. Then, the riots.
You mean then the riots that you are a part of? It's good to see the familiar face. It's good to see Nagito. But he's also not the person you probably want to be seeing in this situation. Also, what the heck is with that zipper on his back? It's like it's already got like a gap in the back, but then it's also got a zipper like that only goes partially up. It's really weird. And there's a button on it that doesn't attach to anything.
And on top of that, I get captured by them. I've seriously got no luck at all.
If you say so, Nagito.
Life, they allowed me to live as their servant. I'm being rude. enough about me. Let's talk about you.
So we already know that what he's saying is wrong because of the fact that he is one of the reserve students from Hope's Peak Academy, just like most of the he's one of the reserve students from Hope's Peak Academy. So he's part of the Ultimate Despair. We already know this. So he's making some stuff up here. Also, interesting choices of music in this game. Most of it is just stuff that's reused from Danganronpa 1. But the rest of it, I don't know, I think it's actually pretty fitting. I think it works.
Either you truly
it's just an interesting choice.
Exhausted, or you're simply afraid to wake up and face reality. You were asleep a full 2 days.
2 days? What?
A full 2 days?
A full 2 days. More than enough time for the world to change completely. Yes, even our world can change just that quickly. Like a watercolor painting caught in the rain. Ah, but you're more concerned about yourself than the world right now, correct?
Yes. See, that's the unfortunate thing about her is she's been acting a bit selfishly this whole time so far. Not helping out that. Sorry, the vocals are a bit distracting. Yeah, not helping out that Future Foundation member, leaving Byakuya behind. Just wanting to get herself on the way out of here.
You're wondering what's to become of you now that you're trapped here in this place.
Also, what's with the present?
What's going to happen to me? Huh?
Apologies. Your reaction was so normal. It surprised me a little.
You didn't think she would be normal?
You honestly don't have a single unique characteristic.
You comparing her to Makoto? Is that why?
Well, no need to be depressed about it. This world is filled with unremarkable people, and the only one capable of empathizing with common, boring people is a common, boring person like yourself. So that's why you pass.
What?
What are you talking about?
Well, that is just my personal opinion. It doesn't matter to them at all.
Them. Again, he's talking like he's not part of them. Is he actually not part of them?
Which means I'll need you to take a proper test.
A test?
But before that, I'll return this to you.
Return this to you? We still have that? Why do you still have that?
The hacking gun.
I borrowed it from you without permission. Sorry. But I absolutely had to analyze its capabilities.
Why?
It sure is an amazing little machine.
You have to analyze its capabilities to come up with countermeasures for it? What are you talking about here?
A device that forcibly hacks machines by shooting program codes with electromagnetism. However, it was a bit too powerful. I made a few modifications for game balance purposes.
Yeah, as expected. It was a bit too powerful.
Game balance?
No need to worry. You'll have the opportunity to upgrade it later.
Exactly what I said. Exactly what I said. It's Metroid Prime kind of stuff that we got going on here. Honestly, I really like the way the direction this game is going so far.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I understand how you feel, but it's about time you started the test.
So far, it's surpassed my expectations. I knew it was a shooter kind of game. I thought it was gonna be some kind of like top-down shooter thing with like levels and like story in between, but I like the way this is going. This is better than what I was expecting it to be.
Make it all the way to where everyone is waiting, you pass.
Where everyone is waiting?
Everyone?
You'll meet them when you get there. However, even after you meet everyone, be sure to keep that gun of yours a secret.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like something that they'd want her to have.
If you don't want to die, that is. I'll be going on ahead.
Does that mean we shouldn't use it when we're in here? So that we don't reveal its existence?
What the heck? What is going on now?
Okay, well, we know, so one thing, we know Byakuya's fine since he'll be fine in the events of Danganronpa 2. Oh, she got an idle animation. Okay, what is this? Activate? Okay, so we got a new truth bullet. Time for another tutorial. Okay, looks like you've obtained Move. Move is a truth bullet that can activate some machines with superpowered hacking magic. Try it on that power panel with the red light. Oh, and I know you probably remember, but you can press the F key to change ammo. Yep. Which I will never do because I'll just use the number keys. Okay, so we got break. We got move on. This is kind of confusing because it's not number 2, it's number 5. All right. I guess pew pew.
It's unlocked. But I'm scared.
Well, we just gotta go through, I guess. Time for another tutorial. Is it gonna tell us to get headshots? Oh, we have got a battery power on the top left. Now that you've put in some time with the hacking gun, let me tell you something. The red left eye is a weak point for all Monokumas. Okay, good to know. Not just not the head, the eye itself. Shoot that weak point with break, and most Monokumas go down in one shot. Plus, after you hit a weak point, break ammo will give you 1 power shot. Oh. It's one hell of a shot that's way stronger than the regular break. Now that's killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay, great. I like that. If you think you're so hot, why not try aiming at the weak point? So there does seem to be some amount of...
There it is again.
Auto... Well, no, there's not auto aim. It just aims you in the... Okay, there's none actually. Did I sneak? I'm waiting for him to try to walk away. Okay, whatever.
The gun. It's weaker. Is this the game balance that guy was talking about?
Well, I can't tell if it's weaker yet because I've only hit one in the I killed one in 1 shot just now, so. But it does have a lot of missing abilities.
Is this the right way?
I like the little sprite that shows up when she's talking. But yeah, I do wonder about Nagito's motives here. We know he's part of the Ultimate Despair, but does that mean that this group itself is not actually the Ultimate Despair, this group of children? Is it something else? Should I kill him?
Looks like this isn't the right way.
Okay, the reason I did that was I wanted to get a headshot on him to keep my my power shot ready. But that was a little risky.
Did I just get locked in?
That's gonna be kind of tricky to use in close quarters. Yeah, I know we should. So how does move work on the... So you can't just press the button? I guess it's not a button.
Go up to the room past the stairs.
Star? Where are we? I was looking at the symbols, trying to make something of them, but I don't understand.